Hi everyone, just a brief discussion about the end of the semester. We have a week and a half left. I know it went by fast, and hopefully you're enjoying the course. I know I am enjoying reading your work. I feel really positive about it. So this is the end of Unit 3. Post 2 is due today, the 20th. Your Reflection 3 is due the 21st. And this item I highly recommend you consider, but it is optional. This is a chance for you to submit what you have so far. And I said so far because it's not meant to be it's not meant to be a finished project. It could be almost finished, but it might just be the layout of a brochure. It might be part of a brochure. It might be part of an infographic. It might be part of a script for a podcast. It might be part of your web page is finished, but not all of it, your social media page. Part of your letter to a politician could be finished. So it does not have to be complete. This is just to give feedback. I will tell you, most people who do this do better on the project because they're able to fix some things that would make it better than what it is. Again, it's optional, but I do highly recommend you submit something for feedback. If not, that's fine. You just won't have feedback, but there's no penalty for not submitting it. It is important, however, because this project is more than 1/3 of your grade. So it can change your grade by 1 to 2 letters. So that's why I give you this final option. So the next thing to look at is Unit 4. And just to talk about Unit 4 a little bit, we just saw, everything in Unit 3 ends on the 21st, and nothing else is due until the 24th at 9 p.m. And this is earlier than normal. But on the 24th by 9 p.m., you're going to make your first post in the discussion board. And that post will include 2 items. Please attach both items and then submit. It's very difficult if you submit 2 different things. So you're going to submit your project. That's one thing. And it could actually be the document or it could be a link. So if it's a podcast, it might be a link to the podcast. If it is a web page, it might be a link to the web page. Or you could actually submit an actual document for people to open. The other thing you submit is a 1 to 1.5 page paper, and this is an informational paper. It's not a research paper. It's not a report. It should really not have in-text citations. The purpose of this paper is to tell your peers why you chose what you did and how you decided what to put in your project. With this paper, you should have a reference list. There should be no in-text citations in your project. You just need a reference list. When you think about the real world and you're reading brochures or whatever, or you're listening to a podcast, they don't stop and give you an in-text citation. Those in-text, you're just going to submit a reference list. And again, this is an informational document for your peers. It's not a written report, and it really could be done in 1.5 pages, maybe 1. If you go to 2, maybe that's okay. But if you go over 1.5 pages, you might be writing too much. On 6:20, I'm looking at this at 9 o'clock at night again, just to make sure everything works. At 6:25 at noon, you can begin watching the presentations or the projects. The reason there's this time lapse is if somebody's project doesn't open correctly, I will send them an email. And if they get an email at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night, they at least have until the next day at noon to fix it. So that's why there's this delay. If everything is turned in by the 24th at 9 and nothing is wrong, I will tell you you can start earlier. There's probably about 12 projects. I'm not really sure who's dropped. I think 2 people have dropped. There might be 14 projects, but you'll be watching them. It should take no longer than 10 minutes to review any project. So 10 minutes times 12 people or 14 people is 2 hours to a little over 2 hours. That's not a lot to request of you for an entire unit that lasts a week and a week. So that's that. On the 28th, you need to do 2 things. One, you're going to make a second post to 4 people in the discussion board. And it's very important that everybody in the discussion board have 2 questions. if you ask questions early, you can ask whoever you want. But if you're near the end of one of the last people asking questions, it's really important for you to see who does not have questions. I will go in and check to see who doesn't have questions. If someone submits late, don't feel obligated to go back and watch something. Like if you finish on the 26th and somebody submits something on the 27th, you're not required to go back and look at it. So for questions, the discussion board has guidelines. I'm not going to look at that with you because they're pretty clear. You can open it and ask me questions if you have any. On the 29th, you should post your third post in this discussion board, and that will be answering 2 of the questions that were asked of you. So you're going to ask 4 questions. You might have 4 or more questions, but you will only answer 2 of the questions. And this is the only discussion board where you've had more than 1 post. So make sure you pay attention to those. This is the only discussion board where you've actually had to have a third post where you've answered people, but it's part of your grade for the discussion board. By the 29th at 11:59 p.m., the extra credit will be due, and we'll look at that together briefly. I know we've already done it, but I'll do it again briefly. And on the 30th at 12:05 a.m., the final reflection opens, and it's due on the 1st by 5 p.m. And that's so that I can get your grades done quickly and get them submitted. So let's look at where you submit everything. Presentation, this is not your presentation, this is the scoring tool. So you will submit the scoring tool for the final project. And I will, I'm sorry, that's not correct. This is where you submit your scoring tools for everyone. The extra credit assignment we looked at last week. There are 3 options. You can only do one. I would, if you want to do extra credit, choose one of these 3. If you don't want to do extra credit, that's fine also. But it's important, all of these things that are here are what lay people would watch. You've spent the whole semester looking at what professionals would read and watch. Now you're going to be looking at stuff that is made for the lay person or for the general population. And I want you to react to those things. And then the final reflection you can find at the bottom of Unit 4. It opens at 12:05 a.m. on the 30th. It closes at 5 p.m. on the 1st. You need to, there's no time limit, so you could open it and start it and go back. The final reflection is cumulative. It asks you questions about the whole semester. It asks you to apply information from the whole semester. And there are most of them, there are no right or wrong answers. It's just, is it clear that you are engaged in the course, basically? It's asking for your opinions, but your opinions and what you say to back them up need to be accurate based on the course information. So you'll turn everything in no later than the 1st at 5 p.m. There's no time limit on this. You could start it at 12:05 on the 30th and finish it at 5 o'clock on the 1st. That's up to you. And then that evening and the next day, I'll do your grades. Your grades will be posted in Blackboard, and you'll have between a half a day to a day and a half to look at them and tell me if you think anything is wrong. Again, this project is huge because it is more than a third of your grade. So please ask for guidance if you need it. If you have any questions, please reach out. Again, your discussion boards have been amazing, and I am very much looking forward to seeing your projects next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.